Yo, what up, everybody? Today is the day. James Gunn, Peter Safran, the DC Universe is officially kicking off with their promotional campaign and all that shit for Superman, formerly titled Superman Legacy. It's coming out July 2025, y'all. And for the holiday season, he's got a little treat for us DC fans out here. I got to rep my boy Batman, of course, because we got some DC stuff in here. I do not own any Superman merch, so sue me. I got to give me a Superman shirt, though. I don't know what I've been doing this whole time. But anyways, make sure you're supporting the video, clicking the buttons below the video, man. It's been hard out here for your boy lately, man. We got to get these views and we got to get, get the engagement and all that stuff up, man. So keep showing love, man. If you love trailer reactions, you love breakdowns, we talk about movies, TV, anime, music, all kinds of shit here. So make sure you're clicking the buttons, man. Come on, click the video. Why the hell not? You see a handsome guy on there? Click it. But yeah, we're here to get into Superman, dude. A lot of hype's been going on this. The entire DC universe is resting everything. Everything's on this movie. And even James Gunn has said so out loud in interviews. So shit is real, bro. Like it's go time. And I'm hella excited for this. I really like David Cornsweet as an actor. The only thing I've seen him in is the thing that James Gunn saw him in, and it made him even consider him being a great fit for the part before he saw his audition. So it's like, I think if you kind of have seen his performance in that, you can kind of see where the Clark Kent kind of aspect of it can come in. Rachel Brosnahan, who's playing Lois Lane, she's definitely a very established actress. I haven't seen a ton of her stuff, but I'm very well aware of who she is. I've seen clips of Marvelous Miss Maisel, very capable performer. And then Nicholas Hoult, he's been all over the place. And if you're a comic book movie fan, you've watched him in the entire modern prequel era of the X-Men movies for like 4 movies straight, almost a decade. So I think most of us watching this are familiar with him. But enough preamble, man. It's time to get into it. Let's fucking do it. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Damn. Superman ain't shit. Ah, that's him Clark Kenting it up. Oh. Wow. What has he been fighting? Okay, Lois Lane. Rocking the dope vest. I dig it. Ooh, I like it. It's the OG theme with the car. Let's go. Crypto. No way. Or is that him?
Crypto.
It's Crypto.
Home. Take me home.
Interesting. Don't.
Superman.
Hey. Oh. Oh. Wow. Wow. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty fucking cool. Now, I'm not over the moon about it. I'm not gonna lie to y'all right here, and just get too caught up in the hype. But I like the trailer. I dig how they're leaning into that old school John Williams theme. I haven't even seen the original Superman movies, man. Or actually, I take that back. I saw Superman 2 as a kid and 3 because Richard Pryor was in it. I have never seen Superman 1. Like literally never seen the Christopher Reeve Superman entirely. I've seen clips, I've watched parts of it when I was a kid and as a teenager, but as an adult, I have not gone back to it yet. So, but I do want to get into movie reactions on the channel. So I'm saving that for that because I actually really do want to watch these old school Christopher Reeve movies and all that, leading up to Superman, man, kind of filling in those gaps, if you will, because y'all know Batman all day. But I've always been a Superman fan when he's done right. And one of my favorite adaptations or versions of him was the 90s cartoon from the Bruce Timm universe. You know what I'm saying? DC animated stuff, starting with the Batman animated series, the freaking goat of animated shows, right? So I've always been a fan of that Superman. I felt like that encapsulated everything cool and Boy Scout about him at the same time. Had great stories, really had the villains be cool. Lex Luthor was a badass. And that seems to be the vibe I'm picking up from Nicholas Hoult in this thing. His Lex Luthor looks actually a little bit more menacing, a little bit more intimidating, right? And now we haven't heard him say anything, but just that picture, just that quick scene of him seeing Superman flying around or whatever, and around Metropolis, and he's like all pissed and everything. I'm like, that feels like Lex Luthor to me. Like it doesn't feel like that lame ass shit that Jesse Eisenberger's doing. And that's what was written on the page overall. I get it. I think there was rumors. I don't know if it's true. He might have supposed to have been the Riddler. I don't know. But this is the Lex Luthor you want to see from at least the essence I'm picking up here. Who knows? In context of the film, his performance might not work, right? But for what I saw in this trailer, it seems pretty on point. Now, when it comes to the goddamn title character, I'm digging it, man. David Cornsweet looks like some weird, nerdy, like awkward ass person. And as a person that can be awkward themselves, I can relate to that. It's one of the few things about Clark Kent I actually really liked. I never bought the people don't. It's always like he embodies such a different person as Superman. People don't really realize it's Clark. So that's more what they're going for. And if that's the dynamic James Gunn's trying to bring here, I'm already feeling it. Him as Superman flying around doing stuff, not even saying much. I'm already getting that. Oh, yeah, it just feels like a different guy. You know what I mean? A little bit. You know what I'm saying? Now, we don't really know fully how it's going to play out in the film because a lot of people had a problem with this guy, the Pattinson over there, Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne. People felt like they didn't really get into that side of the character, or he hadn't really found his footing in that. And obviously they weren't really focusing on that. They were focusing kind of his obsession of just being the Batman and that kind of really being who he is. And now he's going to kind of develop his persona of Bruce Wayne, right? I like how Matt Reeves is doing that because to me, I'm like, I get what you're doing. You're flipping the script too, because you've seen so many versions of Bruce Wayne up until this point. And the Ben Affleck version definitely was from Zack Snyder to me was hitting a lot of those similar beats. And I think Christian Bale as well. So I feel like we've seen that a bit before, but they're just playing it out in a year one sense of how he's kind of discovering the Playboy essence and being more involved in Gotham. I think through him just realizing he has to be more than just vengeance in general as a person. So I think that growth is going to come there. But with this, I really dig the vibe, man. Rachel Brosnahan is Lois Lane. We obviously didn't see her do much. She literally looked at Clark Kent and then was making out with him later and gave him a hug. So we obviously haven't really seen anything of her performance, but I like her aesthetically as the character. To me, it just looks like the character hopping off the page, in my opinion. Both of them do, David Cornsweet and Rachel Brosnahan. I like the CG and the effects with this. I like the way Superman flying around is visualized. It feels very anime to me, and not in a bad way. It feels just like that quick, like takeoff. I don't know. It's just something about it just reminds me of this different style that's similar to what Zack Snyder was doing, but to me, this just has a little bit more of like this, this propelling motion to it. I don't know. It's hard to kind of explain. And I did see somewhere, I didn't read the full quotes, but apparently he's inspired, James Gunn, that is, by Top Gun Maverick and what that director did with those action scenes. And those were incredible scenes. I love Top Gun Maverick. It's one of my favorite movies in the last 10, 15 years, easy. And that action stuff was so dope with the planes. And it felt like you were in a motherfucking jet speeding with those guys and gals. So for me, that's how you want Superman's flying in the field. I've said this before too. It needs to be like DBZ. You know what I'm saying? Dragon Ball Z, for those that are uninitiated. Y'all have heard of Goku and all that. I always wanted it to be like that. He's flying like quick and punching something. Like I've always wanted that. And this to me feels like we're getting that vibe. Now, we did get some glimpse of what looks like some kind of villain. I don't know if that's Brainiac. I'm not quite sure because James Gunn tends to get very obscure with his comic book references and comic book characters and things that he's pulling. The fact that Guy Gardner is the first Green Lantern we're seeing just shows you James Gunn's sensibilities, who we also saw in the trailer. But that to me is hella interesting. And the villain aspect, because it looks like someone's fighting him like straight up, like squabbling up and shit on some Kendrick Lamar shit right now. And I dig it, you know what I'm saying? And the overall way that he started the trailer with Superman breathing heavy and crashing down wherever the hell he's at, like Antarctica or whatever the fuck, and then Crypto has to kind of save him and bring him home. That to me was a great way of introducing the character. Like he's his dog, you know, that's his best bud. So to me, I like it. I kind of already figured James Gunn would be able to pull this off. And to me, it feels like he might have with this. It didn't feel out of place. It didn't feel weird or anything like that. The visual of seeing the dog come off fast was kind of weird. You know, might take getting used to, but it feels like what Crypto should feel like from the comics, right? I don't know if he's going to talk or anything. That might be a bit out there. I don't know. But still, really dug that as well, and was kind of surprised that I dug that aspect of it. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it, so that was really surprising to me. And the way that people are pissed with Superman, some dude's throwing shit at him, and he looks pissed. Like, and I like that. I'm like, I don't mind everyone not loving Superman because to me, in the modern era, there's nothing that's loved by everyone anymore. It seems like, except for maybe like, you know, children not being harmed or something. That's kind of like it. We don't seem to be able to get on the same page. And I'm saying as a collective society, not you and me specifically. But it just seems like with the talk of the internet and just when you get into political discussions with certain people and just discussions in general about things, we just can't seem to be in any kind of symbiotic nature with shit. It's everything's polarizing. Whether the film's good or bad, it's polarizing. Like whether it's Marvel, DC, or an independent thing, it's polarizing. I don't understand how we've gotten here as a society at all. I don't know if it's just the internet or social media. I don't know, bro, but it's crazy. And just seeing that divide with Superman and people kind of being inspired by him, but also not liking him, very much on point to me. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, but now getting into it now, Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl. We did get a couple glimpses of them. That was a lot of those were a couple of the characters we did. A lot of people were speculating about showing up, and at first I didn't want them to. I'm fine they did it, and I'm glad they did it the way I was hoping they would. A glimpse, them in action, just doing something. Hey, other heroes exist. Superman's a new kid on the block. There you go. So people can kind of understand that. I was literally explaining it to my parents, telling them about the trailer and the new movie coming out. You know what I'm saying? And whether they dig it or don't, at least they're going to get that understanding that this is within a shared universe that is established with other DC characters, a la Marvel, if you're talking about jumping into things in phase 3, 4, and 5, right? So kind of that vibe where it's already been established. There's probably already a good amount of lore. Sergeant Rock, GI Robot from Creature Commandos, that's back in the 50s and 40s, if I'm not mistaken, right? So there is like this really nice established, canon within the DC universe that I like the way that James Gunn's approaching that as well. Yeah, love the fucking theme with the electric guitar. How dope is that? The John Williams theme. I dig it. I like how they're leaning into that. And I think for a theme being nostalgic, that's not that big of a deal. I don't want the whole film just to be, hey, look at all these Christopher Reeve Easter eggs, right? But a fucking theme that's good and one of the most iconic themes ever made by arguably the best composer in film history. Quit bitching, man. That's my fucking assessment of that. It's the goddamn Superman theme, dude. I know it, and I haven't even seen the whole original film, bro. I remember hearing that going to Universal Studios. It hypes you up. It's inspiring. It's well written. So anyone complaining about that to me, lame. And the whole rest of the score is original and done by this new person. So you're getting the best of both worlds, man. Calm down. I really don't get it. We can get the Star Wars theme in the beginning of the movie every time, but we can't get the goddamn John Williams theme for the first time in 40 years. You know what I'm saying? I think it's been since like 80 something since Superman 4. Like, give me a break with that. I don't get that freaking complaint online, man. I do not at all. And this is one of the longer trailer reactions we're doing, man, but I got to definitely nerd out on this one and get all my thoughts out here that I'm thinking about. Daily Planet looked cool as well. Trying to think, is there anything in the trailer I missed? Yeah, with that kid saying Superman, seems like there might be some more international type conflicts that he's dealing with too. And that thing in the background that was kind of like some weird thing that kind of looked like the same thing from that image we saw of Superman putting on his boots. And I think that's why he was like, ah, shit, okay, here we go. Because it looked like he was hooking up with Lois Lane right there. So I think that just makes him more relatable. Like, you're in the middle of doing some shit, but now you got to go to work or you're chilling. Like I'm about to be filming within the next few hours myself. So yeah, so I think that's definitely what James Gunn was going for with that. And yeah, I dig this trailer a lot. I'm really excited to see the more full-length trailer that maybe breaks down a little more of the story. You know what I mean? We really get to see Pa and Ma Kent interact with Clark, because we did get to see Pa Kent briefly. No Ma Kent yet, though. I would like to see a little bit more of Clark Kent and Superman, like, dialogue, but it's a teaser trailer. So I understand you're building up the hype and suspense, and they're really trying to do that. You're really trying to drive up, like, I got to be a part of this cultural event that is Superman. Even though we had Superman movies not less than a decade ago, this feels special. This feels cool. So it will be 12 years since Man of Steel. And I remember the hype in 2011 and 2012 leading into 2013 when that film dropped. Me and my dad went opening weekend. So it's cool to be a part of these different Superman eras, man. Superman Returns, I remember when that came out. So it is cool to be able to see the evolution of Superman, see what's going to happen. And James Gunn's one of my favorite directors working today. So I think this might be one of his best films yet, if he can pull it off. And some of the vibes that we're getting from it and what we kind of want as fans, if those things kind of meet in the middle, I think we're in for something special, man. But y'all let me know what you thought about this trailer down below. I really got to hear from y'all on this one. If you don't comment on anything else from recent posts, please get in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. If you hate it, you love it, please. Let's talk about Superman, y'all. I'm really trying to get into those discussions. Hit me up on the social media at fandom_frequency, just Instagram, and then Twitter is at fan_frequency. If I'm not mistaken, I got to get back over there, but I'm thinking about not really going on Twitter as much these days. I haven't been, so that might change, might make threads or something like that for the social media aspect of the channel. And there is a second channel in the works right now. I'm going to announce more once things are kind of in the can and really prepped and ready to go. So within the next 2 to 3 weeks, look out for an announcement. We do have kind of a new channel we're going to be launching that's in the Fandom Frequency universe, if you will. So make sure you stay tuned. Don't sleep. Thanks for checking this out. And if you stayed to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Go out there and look up. All right. Peace.